Hello there, I'm Pat Croce, and welcome to American Cancer Society's HEAL Community Gathering. We do this at noon Eastern Time every Wednesday. This is our fifth week, and I thank you for joining. I thank our presenting sponsors, 6ABC, our leadership partners, which we have 28, who've helped fund this entire HEAL initiative, and you who've also helped to fund. We've raised almost $1.8 million so far from our leadership partners and you who've registered through acshealed.com. For those of you who are new, I like to start each gathering, and this is truly a community gathering for those who've been touched by cancer, or those who've been touched by someone who's been touched by cancer. And we were here to support each other. But I like to start with just a moment of stillness. And I take this old little Tibetan bell, and I'm going to ring it. And all I want you to do is place your attention lovingly, gently on the sound. And what does that do? It takes you into the present moment. No past, leave the past where it is. No expectation, anticipation of the future, nothing, just right here and now in the present moment. Many people ask me, Pat, why are you doing this? My intention, my personal intention is to help alleviate or decrease the suffering in the world. I host a spiritual Sangha every Sunday for almost 2 years now, and I put a tweet out there every morning for several years now, but that wasn't good enough for me. I threw it out there to see how could I help more, and boom, T-cell lymphoma was diagnosed on my body. Surgery, radiation during December, boom. I thought, whoa, you're good. What better channel to reach so many people than cancer? Each and every one of us know at least one person that has cancer. I know way many, more than one. And now a lot more based on this community. And so I joined with the ACS because everything they do is informed by love and truth. Everything we know from the American Cancer Society, all the data is based on research, empirical data, truth. And it's distributed by a loving, caring group of individuals. And there's love and truth. So they help provide you with the vitals necessary for health and energy through active living every day. And then I bring on the tools to kick suffering's butt. That's our purpose here at HEAL Community Gathering. Thank you once again for joining us. And I have great guests today. You're going to love them. Our first guest is Jim Mccrosson. Now, Jimmy and I go way back. So if I call him Jimmy, it's because I've known him for 40 years. Back in the day, he was an athletic trainer, but he rose to not only a manager, but a general manager in charge of all 40 of my sports medicine centers. All managers had to answer to Jimmy. And then when I was working with the Flyers and Sixers, he was my right and left-hand man. And I'll let him take you through his journey. But Jimmy is a certified athletic trainer. He's taken what I've done and gone way further. Not only is he the athletic trainer, but he's the conditioning coach. For 14 years, from 80 through 93, I was the conditioning coach and physical therapist, but he's also the trainer in charge of the injuries that you see on the ice. He earned his bachelor's degree from Westchester University, I'm alumni, and 2 masters of science degrees in exercise physiology and in sports medicine. I love this guy. Jimmy and I go way back. I don't see enough of him, but I'm so happy for his success. And let me all introduce to you Jim Mccrosson. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello, Pat. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. It's great to see you, and thank you for joining us today.
It's my honor and pleasure. Thank you.
Now, I know, how long have you been with the Flyers now?
This will be my 26th season coming up.
Wow. And where are you right now?
We're at the Flyers practice facility in Voorhees, New Jersey. Yeah,
So,
I'm right in the medical room.
so we may see some athletes behind you at any moment.
Maybe. Yeah, they're here. You
And
know it.
Jimmy, I know that you went through quite a pathway to get to where you are now. You may have started with me, but you, through your diligence and vigilance, you went to the extremes to get into the pros as athletic trainer. What? Who do we have behind you now?
This is Kevin Hayes. Kevin's one of our players, and that's Sal Rafa, my colleague. Yeah.
Hello, Kevin and Sal.
How are you?
Hey, Kevin, since you're popping up there, how's Jimmy treat you?
Fantastic. But he gave me some money to say that.
We're bringing on one of your cohorts in a little while, Oskar. So
He's the best.
some real true courage coming forth there, right?
Yeah, they get a good story from him.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin, good to see you. Good luck
Yeah,
next
good to
season.
see you. Thank you.
Hey, Jimmy. So
Yes.
why don't you tell everyone how you got to where you are?
Well, obviously you took us up through, or took the people up through working side by side with you with sports physical therapists. And when the company got sold to NovaCare, it came a time I just had to make a decision what I wanted to do. And at that point, our good friend Paul Holmgren gave me a call, and he was with the Hartford Whalers at the time, and asked would I be interested in coming up there and doing the rehab and conditioning for the Hartford Whalers. And you know, what we had a 1 year 1 year 100-mile non-compete, and I asked Homer, is it more than 100 miles? He goes, why? And I said, is it more than 100 miles? Because of course. I said, I'm in. So I went up there to help with Homer, and they gave me a 3-year deal. And the following that spring, Bob Clark and Billy Barber contacted me and asked if I'd want to come back to Philly and pick up where you left off. And I felt honored. And Jimmy Rutherford, who was the GM at the time with the Hartford Whalers, knew I wanted to get back to Philly. That's my home, or our home. And back I came, and I've been here ever since. So,
Jimmy, it's that old adage, that 3-word mantra: relationships determine results, right?
yes, exactly. Yes. And fortunate through you and sports physical therapists, we built great relationships with the Philadelphia Flyers and many other sports teams, but hockey's been my passion. And it's always been a goal and a passion of mine to help bring a Stanley Cup back to Philadelphia. So,
and you speak of your passion, ice hockey. It's got to be one of, if not the most toughest, roughest sport.
It's a grueling sport. 82 games, physicality, being able to skate at amazing speeds, as you know, on a single blade, while somebody else is bearing down to take your head off, and being able to shoot a puck at, over 100 miles an hour, goaltenders with cat-like reflexes. The game, I've been truly blessed to watch the game from the 80s, where we watched the games from at those times, and watch the game develop. And it's a speed game, it's a skill game, it's a finesse game, and it's high energy, quick reflexes. The conditioning has to be precise, and obviously, with the conditioning, the better fit team will help. It helps reduce the amount of injuries a team may have, which is great. And I always believe that your philosophy that the best conditioned team, when talent is equal, the best conditioned team is going to win. We pride ourselves, and granted, didn't have a great season, but we're going to have a better season next year. But to be the best conditioned team, third period team, meaning that when we come out for the third period, we're up 1-0, 2-1. We're not going to blow that lead because our conditioning, our stamina is going down, or it's picking up. We know we're going to be in good hands because we've worked that hard off the ice and on the ice to get where we are.
So, Jimmy, healed is health and energy through active living every day. The active living part of a professional hockey player, you talk about conditioning and that third period, those 45-second shifts. Can you give us some general guidelines on what you have, I guess, prescribed for your team?
Well, yes, I can. Rest is a powerful weapon. You know, when it's a day off, get your rest. With the grueling games that we had this past season, obviously it was a 56 game schedule, and with COVID, we played a lot of back-to-back games, and they take their toll on you. Get your rest. Hydration is huge. Making sure that you're hydrated and that you're eating the proper nutrition. There's no time for a break. There's days that we call green light days, that we may have 2 or 3 days before the next game that you can go out, and if you want to have a fudge brownie, do so, but in moderation, right? But all in all, you've got to take yourself and treat your body like a temple, and build off of that. And you know, your body, what you feed your body, and not just food, but fluid, it's going to propel you through the next games or games coming up. And so nutrition is huge. Making sure that you get into the weight room, that there's nobody, that we as a team get in there together, right? It's not an individual type of practice. You get in there, you work together off the ice as you're going to work together on the ice. And that motivates you. You may not feel like working out one day. You may not feel like getting in there with your teammates, that you may have to get home. But you know, the workout's about 20 minutes. Get in there with your teammates, battle through it, and do it.
That was one thing about having Bobby Clark as the captain during my reign, because he walked the talk. Who is not going to go in the weight room when Bobby Clark's already in there?
Right.
You know, same with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan used to have the Breakfast Club for the Chicago Bulls. He would go in there prior to practice, and who would skip that? You're not going to get the ball. You're not going to play if you're not there with Michael J. or Bobby Clark. Or who would you say the leader of the Flyers is in your locker room, in the training room?
I think we have a few. I think it's Sean Couturier, obviously our captain, Claude Giroux, and Ivan Provorov. Those 3 stand out for us. Yeah.
And you say, and we know that proper conditioning can help to prevent injuries, but at speeds that those players bang each other and the speed of the puck over 100 miles an hour, there are injuries that aren't preventable, that just occur because of the speed of the game. What would you say your most common injuries are?
Foot injuries. Number 1 injury in ice hockey, foot injuries. The skates, as we were kids, they were heavier, more padded, more rigid. Now everything's about speed, speed, speed. And so they're lightening up on the amount of protection that's on the skate. However, you still have 16 ounces of molten rubber being fired at you at amazing speeds. And now we don't have wooden sticks, right? We have carbon resin sticks. And where you once had a good shot, you now have a great shot. Where you had a great shot, you now have a howitzer coming at you. And bones are bones, and they can only take so much impact. And as much as we tried to protect and put an extra layer over top of the skate with either skate shields or a carbon fiber, we have foot injuries and foot fractures.
Not so much with medial collateral knee or back?
That's second. That was second injuries. Second injury would be your knees. Then third would be your core complex. Your core, your abdominals, your hips. We've done quite a bit of studies on the hip and how the hip's been, how it forms at the age of 13. And with kids, both guys and girls playing the same sport and not breaking off like we used to do when you played baseball, basketball, football. It's be like the summertime. You go out and almost do like a triathlon. You're swimming, biking. Kids aren't doing that anymore. I see the same kids at the skate zone skating 364 days a year. Something's going to break down. And unfortunately, our hips are starting to form this way, and we're getting more and more what they call impingement in both guys and girls, and torn labrums and injuries that we would have seen back at the clinic when people were 30. We're starting to see when they're at teen level and or early teens. So this is what our resources now are trying to say, okay, this is what's going on. we do a whole series of hips studies on these guys that we get in at the age of 18, and how are we going to prolong the life of their hip? So how are we going to prolong the life of our players so they can be here with us? And I always say it's my job to keep you here for 18 years and healthy. And if I can do that, we did our job, right, Sal? We did our job.
You do a hell of a job, Jimmy. Of all the players you've trained and treated, who, one or two, stick out the most in your mind?
Good friend of yours, Roddy Brindamore.
Oh, Rod the Bod. Oh,
I've never, ever trained with somebody like that before. Quick little story, and Chris Turian wouldn't mind me saying this. Bob Clark told him at the end of the year meetings, as you know, that Clarkie would have, I want you to take your belt and strap it onto him and don't and follow him all summer. And Chris did. He came in 20 pounds lighter. But Roddy was an exceptional guy that I just loved to be with. And he trained, we would train from 6 a.m. and go to 2. Then Master Scott would come in and we do an hour of training with Master Scott.
of karate. People don't know Master Scott. This is Tom Sudo. This is Rod the Bod Brindamore. Remember his percent of body fat?
Oh, yeah.
Did he have any?
Pat, he's still the same way. He's still coaching down in Carolina. He's still the same way.
How old is he now?
Oh, he's got to be 50. Yeah, at least 50. Yeah.
So wherever you're sitting out there, ladies and gentlemen, just hit whatever's wood near you. That's Rod the Bod. Oh, my dog thinks I'm banging at the door. That's Rod the Bod's body, rock solid. So
Yes.
before I bring on our next guest, Oskar Lindblom, tell us a little bit about how the diagnosis happened.
Oh. Well, I know that Oskar said that he had a lump, and I believe, Oskar, I know you'll tell it, but back in the summer times, but it disappeared. So early in the season,
A lump where?
a lump on the side of his rib cage, left side rib cage, and it disappeared. And then he didn't make any notice of it. And we went through our preseason physicals. It wasn't there. We went to Edmonton. We went out to that western string of Canadian teams. So we played Edmonton, Calgary to death. He got cross-checked when we were in Edmonton. And after the game, you could still see where the stick got him on the ribs, but there was a lump there. And the doctor in Edmonton, and so did I, we thought it may have been a hematoma, but the doctor, we did an x-ray. X-ray didn't show any fracture. But the doctor said, listen, if this persists, when you get back to Philly, get it checked out. And he came in one day to the medical room. I keep on looking to my side, sorry, because my colleague Sal's with me, Sal Rafa. And the lump was there. And he goes, is this normal? So we sent him quickly down to our orthopedic doctor, who ordered a CAT scan. And the CAT scan showed what it could have been cancer. So they said, let's confirm. They got an MRI then. And it was all because of a cross check. And thank God. I mean, that because this lump was ebbing and flowing on him. And this time it stayed out. And obviously, once we got the confirmation, he got all the blood work done. We sent him to see Dr. Christine Weber and Dr. Hartner down in Penn. And the process went pretty darn quickly for him.
What went through your mind, Jimmy, when you heard the C word?
Oh, Pat, I was devastated. I mean, that just like when we had Yannick Dupree. I mean, when you hear the C word for anybody, it was like, oh my God, first, what type? What is the prognosis going to be? And, they didn't tell us much because Oskar was going through it. It was, if I can just add on to the story, we went out to Colorado and we were going to play the Avalanche the next day. We were to find out before we went to Colorado what the diagnosis was with all the testing that we did. We didn't find out. Right before I got off the plane, the doctors called me and let me know what was going on and asked, would you mind delivering the message to Oskar?
Oh.
And so I got Elaine Venue. I spoke to our head coach, Elaine Venue. He said, you can't do it alone. And I spoke to Robert Hagg, Oscar's best friend on our team. And I said, boys, I need you. And So we called Oskar up into Elaine's room, and that's where we delivered the message to him. And we sent him home that day to be with his girl, Alma, and then he had to go and meet with all the doctors back in Philly.
Well, we'll take it from here, Jimmy. That's quite a handoff, and we'll bring Oskar on.
Perfect.
Thank you for sharing all that. But I want to bring you back on. So
Sure.
you just go onto the bench right now and take a little rest. And before we bring our guest on, Oskar Lindblom, who's number 23, he'll be 25 years old in 2 months, plays for the Philadelphia Flyers. And as Jimmy just mentioned, he was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. And we'll talk to Oskar. But right now, it's our intermezzo. It's our energy tip, health and energy through active living every day. We started with hydration. You heard Jimmy Mccrossin, the trainer for the Flyers, talk about the pros. First and foremost, hydration. That was our first week. Then we talked about an apple a day. Yeah, that's great. 95 calories, 4.5 grams of fiber. You can't go wrong. That's the red color that you can chop up and put in your salad. Last week was blueberries. And we had Jamil and Ricky Rivers talking about, even Ricky is growing blueberries. There you go, 85 calories, antioxidants, great in fiber. Today, almonds, a handful of almonds. You know, a whole cup of almonds, which is about 23, is about 160 calories, 6 grams of protein. So let's just say a half a cup, okay? So we have half a cup, 12 almonds. You got 80 calories, the same as blueberries, about 4.5 grams of fiber. And you can take almonds and crush them up with your blueberries, with your cut apples, and throw them in your salad. You're getting plenty of fiber. And the almonds, 6 grams of protein, that's almost as much as a hard-boiled egg. I love crushed almonds with my yogurt with the blueberries. So that's really our tip for today that you can use anytime. A handful of almonds, it's a great, all of these choices, blueberries, apples, water, they're all great nutritional elements that also provide weight reduction because they're not simple carbs. They're all complex carbs with fiber and protein and water involved and a whole host of minerals and vitamins and antioxidants. So use that, enjoy them as a great snack, if not in your yogurt or on your salad. Now, right now, it gives me great pleasure and an honor to bring on who I think, and I tweeted it this morning, I've trained and worked with thousands of professional athletes, Olympic athletes, collegiate athletes, as a physical therapist trainer, as a conditioning coach for the Flyers and Sixers, as the president of the Sixers. And I've seen the courageous acts of athletes coming back to play on the court, on the ice, on the field. But never have I seen anyone come back from metastatic cancer to come back within the same year to play the physical sport, as Jim Mccrossin just talked about, professional ice hockey. Please welcome Oskar Lindblom. Oskar, welcome, Oskar.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oskar, first I have to tell you that my grandson, my 10-year-old grandson, is named Oskar.
Oh, that's a great name. I can't say more than that.
He'll be psyched that I was speaking with you, and he'll definitely see the video. And for everyone who's not here, or if you can spread the word, this video will be on acshealed.com. We have a library under weekly gatherings, so enjoy it and share it with everyone you know. Oskar, where are you right now? Jimmy was in the training room of your Flyers practice facility. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Spain right now. I'm on vacation, so still working out though, but trying to enjoy life a little bit here and enjoy the heat.
Where did you say you were? Spain?
Yeah, in Spain. That's right.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sweden.
No, not yet. I'm going there next week though, going back home and see all my friends and all that. But right now I'm here with my girlfriend and my dad and my mom.
For vacation?
Yeah, so it's pretty great.
Where in Spain?
It's close to Malaga,
Oh,
if you know what that is.
I know where it is. Sweet. You going in the water?
Yes. Yeah, I was in there today, so I'm a little burned, but that's all right. So
what time is it there?
It's 6 p.m. right now.
Okay,
it's not
so
that
you're
bad. It's 6 hours.
you're in Spain right now. Can you think back to 2014? Take us all back to when you were drafted. Where were you then?
I was back home actually at my parents' house, sitting there and watching it on TV because I didn't even know if I was supposed to go in the draft. So there's no point traveling all the way to the US to be there. So waiting and waiting till fifth round, and there it was. The Flyers picked me. So that's a great feeling. Yeah.
Well, tell us,
Then,
share with us. You were with your parents at their home, and where in Sweden?
it's a small city called Gävle, 2-hour drive up north from Stockholm. So it's
I've been
small
to
city, but-
Stockholm. I've been to Stockholm. You know how? Bobby Clark sent me there during the early reign of the 80s. He wanted me to know exactly what the Swedish national team was doing for conditioning.
Wow,
So,
that's
yes,
pretty cool.
so I got
Because
to
we were
spend
watching you
some-
guys probably.
I got to spend some. They were lifting logs. They were doing everything outside. They had their own circuit outside, which was way cool.
Yeah, we still have those. You go around the city, you're probably gonna see a couple of them. So it's pretty nice if you want to go take a run and stay at one of those stations and do a little quick workout and go back home again. It's great.
Oh, that's great. So let's go back to that day you were drafted and you heard your name called. It. What was it? Number 134?
138, I think it was. Fifth
Tell
round.
us,
Yeah, I mean,
bring us back.
it was crazy. Sitting there, didn't know what to expect. Saw my name. Can't remember who called me from the Flyers. I think it was John Riley called me, the development coach for the forwards, called me and congratulate to. Oh, I can't speak anymore. Tell me congrats and all that, and then he just told me we're gonna have a camp midsummer. I was supposed to be there and blah blah blah. So that was it. Then I mean, just to be in Philly, come there. I haven't traveled much in my life, so you come to a big city and see a big team like that and be close to everyone like Jimmy and all the pros around. That's a great feeling to be there and see that you're close. We're not there, but you're close to reach your goal in life to play in NHL.
And did you get to select the number 23?
At first, I played with because I played 50 games in Lehigh Valley, the HL team, and then when I got called up, I played with number 54 my first season, and then I changed to 23 because my dad played with 23 when I was younger.
Your dad played professional hockey?
No, he played. He was good though. He didn't play pro, but he played in Division 2 or 3, I think it was, back home in Sweden.
So how old were you when you started?
Oh boy, probably like 5, somewhere around there. So it's early, but yes, we were always there watching him play. So it's it came natural to just start playing hockey.
What would you say your natural assets are that you could capitalize on and the reason you got picked?
I think I was a good scorer when I was younger. Scored a lot of goals. Good team player as well. I think that was a big part of it. So, but the goal scoring was the big thing. I think I'm good in front of the net and can tip pucks and all that. Get those greasy goals in front of the net.
What does it take? The one who I knew back in the day of my reign as conditioning coach was Tim Kerr, who loved being in front of the net. But you get your legs whacked to death in the front of the net.
Yeah, and you're back to get a cross check in the back 100 times per game. But I think it's just that the feeling when you're in there and you're battling with a D-man and you can score a goal from there, that's pretty great feeling. And even though it's not the most pretty goals you can score, but still, even though you have those, it's more important probably for a team than a tap in or whatever it can be.
So that courage that it takes to stand in front of the net and the puck's getting shot at the net. It's not getting shot as a pass to you. It's getting shot at the net.
Yeah.
What's it required to stand there in front of a 120-mile-per-hour hockey puck?
I mean, that's a tough thing. Like we talked about, you get cross-checked in the back. You have to focus on the puck at the same time and try to tip it. And just like, when it comes to 100 miles per hour, it's just like, it's not an easy thing to do. So you just have to work at it every day, practicing it, and you're getting way better at it quick. So, but mostly will though. You just have to have the courage to be in there and take those tough battles with demons. And some don't and some do. And if you do, you're probably going to be loved by the team.
So how is the courage that it took to stand in front of that net carried over into the courage once you heard this diagnosis of cancer?
I mean, I'm trying to be always a positive guy, and like Jimmy told us that first night when he called me and told me in the room there, it wasn't easy. Like who can be positive when you hear those words the first time? So, but after like a week or so, I just thought for myself that I have to be positive through this. It's gonna make it so much easier for me. I was trying to have good thoughts and told my family and everyone around me to stay positive, and that's gonna help me along the way. So that's my thinking through the whole treatment.
So give our community, what exactly was your positive thoughts? Share with everyone. It's easy to say positive thoughts, but it's hard to have them.
I mean, it could be anything. Like I try to work out when I felt good, and like you see the positive in everything. Like, oh, today I can work out. That's great. Gotta feel better tomorrow. And the other thing is you see the days counting down, and you know I knew I had 6 months of treatments. So after my surgery, after 2 months, that was just like milestones along the way. I try to set up goals like after oh, sorry, I lost the words again. When I took my rib away.
You can tell us in Swedish.
No, that's fine. After I took my rib away, you see, oh, that's 2 months. I've done that. I can do 2 months more. It's gonna be the same. Then I just had 2 months left. So like trying to see positive thoughts and everything else as well. Like when you see people, like I went to see the guys at the ring a couple times too. That's helping you, like just trying to build that energy from other people as well. So it's a lot of things going around, but just trying to stay focused, even though it's so tough when you're doing the chemo treatment. So that's how I try to see it, and it worked for me. I know it's not the same for everyone, but for me, it's the right thing to do.
No, it's wonderful. You were taking your mind and not worrying about the past or anticipating the future, but you said bringing it into the present moment in workouts, visiting with other players, and just feeling the success you're having in the present moment breeds more success. Abundance breeds abundance. But we skipped over very quickly. The diagnosis was Ewing's sarcoma, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it
correct.
was the rib. Do you know what number rib?
I think it was number 6, but I can't
And so
remember. I don't know if Jimmy knows it.
What was the treatment of that Ewing sarcoma? You had surgery? What kind of surgery?
They took most of that rib away after 2 months. I was supposed to do it after 3 months because my body responded so well on the chemo. It was a tough time to see the lump and all that in my rib. So we did it earlier than we were supposed to do it. And then I did my 6 months of chemo, and that was it.
What were the side effects of the chemo?
Tiredness for the most. Very tired all the time. I could eat pretty good. Like I didn't have anything. Like the one thing was weird in the start. When I had metallic silverware, that was the worst thing. Like eating with that was weird for me. But otherwise, eating was fine. I could eat anything. So I'll try to eat everything I could see as well. Ice cream could be whatever. At least in the start too, just trying to get some energy from something, And otherwise, I didn't have any problems with like puking or something like that, which was great. I could keep everything I ate. Like I said, the tiredness of not be able to do anything either, like you're just laying home all the time. And I was trying to, like I said, work out, but those days where I felt good, but other ones were like, I didn't want to do anything, just lay in my couch the whole day and hopefully trying to save some energy for the night and trying to have dinner with my girlfriend.
Oskar, I've seen a lot of athletes, myself included, that have had broken ribs. And that is so uncomfortable, coughing, laughing, sneezing, moving. How about your discomfort? You didn't talk anything about pain.
No, I forgot about that. That was a different pain. When you wake up from the surgery as well, like you're waking up and you feel like you can't you can't breathe because they puncture your lung on that side to make it easy to take the rib away. So when I woke up, I had a lung tube, and like you wake up, you're kind of a little panic because you don't know how it went and all that. So woke up, couldn't breathe, trying to calm down, and after that, just pure pain for like 3 days straight. Only laying on my back, couldn't move either way. Couldn't, like, if I want to go to the bathroom, I couldn't raise my body up because it was hurting way too much.
And when did it start
And
to ease
then
up?
it took a while. Like every day was better, of course, but say after a month, I can find like lay on my side when I went to bed and all that. But the pain was probably the same month, and it started going away. It wasn't the same sharp pain as the first week, of course, like the rest of the month, but always a little pain, like you said, cough, just a big breath sometimes too can be tough. So I'm just trying to battle through it. And I mean, we're hockey players, we have that image, you have to be tough and all that, but those times are really hard.
Oskar, when you picked up a hockey stick for the first time, take us into that experience. Not on the ice, just, in your bedroom.
Yeah, I can really remember that. I was too young.
No. I mean after treatment.
Oh, after treatment. Sorry.
After surgery.
I was pretty quick, to be honest. Even before surgery, I bought a pair of rollerblades. Got a stick from the skate zone and gloves, and a small little ball I can skate around on the big parking lot outside our building. So I was skating around there, trying to get the touch of the ball and your hands and all that. So when I had good weather, I try to do that.
Wait a second. Wait, you're missing a rib now. You're missing a rib.
I know, but as soon as the pain was gone, I was just out there and trying to figure out how it felt, and it felt pretty good quick though, like after the pain was gone. But I was always scared of when I get on the ice with hits and all that, how that's gonna impact me. But as soon as we start playing again, I had an extra protection on my rib, of course. But when I started playing, that thought was gone. Like as soon as I just touched someone, it's like, yep, it's normal again. I can't feel anything on my rib. Of course, I didn't feel as well with the strength and all that, but the rib felt great.
Could you have full range of motion?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Well, we'll bring Jimmy back to talk about your treatment plan, but I really would like to know how you got back on the ice 2 months after surgery where they took away your sixth rib, and 6 months of chemotherapy. How did that happen? Yeah,
that's a good question. I just wanted to play, and like I said, I worked out a little bit before, like trying to, because I knew my chemo was gone in a couple of weeks, so I'm trying to ramp it up a little too with my workouts. And then when I was done, I had trying to work out every day, and then we got to the bubble in Toronto for the playoffs, and from there it was just kind of full speed. I was trying to get back as fast as possible, even though I was careful, but I just pushed myself to the limit to get back quick.
Okay, so now you're back, and we're going to bring Jimmy back to understand how you get the green light back. But now let's say it's your first game. Now it's not practice anymore. Who was your first game against?
We played against the Islanders.
The Islanders. Now
yeah.
you're on the bench.
On the playoff game as well. So there isn't a normal regular season game. It's a playoff game.
Oh, jeez. So Jimmy, you're here. Jimmy's here. Jimmy, give us the green light. What gave you the data to give the green light to Oskar to return to play on the ice in the playoffs?
Other than speaking with you, Oskar, obviously we had to go through Dr. Hartner and Dr. Weber. And there were his two treating physicians. Dr. Weber was the orthopedic the oncologist who removed his rib, and Dr. Hartner was the treating oncologist. And but the blood work was critical too, right, Oskar? The blood work was critical, and we did blood work before you came up to Toronto to make sure that your hemoglobin was good, and that everything, everything was at normal levels. And I think the only thing that was a little out were maybe your white blood cells at the time.
Yeah.
And it was, just so you know, rib 6. But so once we got the blessings from the medical staff, and we got the clearance about your the blood, it was up to Oskar to get back. And I can remember to get back into some type of resemblance of game shape. And I can remember those skates in the bubble up in Toronto. And, you know, the first couple of ones, you were sucking wind. I mean, yeah. But little by little, it came around. You're right. And you were able to come back and play. Do you remember how many minutes you played that game, that first playoff game?
Oh, played more than we thought I would play.
Thought so,
because we went to overtime as well.
I know. It's one of
played like
we told us he's probably going to play about 7 to 10 minutes. He's probably wound up playing like 15 minutes because we did go in.
Oh yeah, I think it was more. I think it was like 17. That was crazy, but
yeah,
it was a good game though. Even though I played more than thought, it was a good game to get into right away. Get those minutes.
Yeah.
So Oskar, HEALED stands for Health and Energy Through Active Living Every Day. And the HEALED research right now, the money we've raised, is for 400 patients through a variety of cancer diagnoses to demonstrate the effectiveness of active living, exercise, activities of daily living. When you've had cancer, you are the poster child for this active living. You've had chemo, you had surgery, and you come back not only to be able to do activities of daily living pain-free, but to play professional ice hockey. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you say your fitness level is right now?
I think I'm getting close to, because the last season I felt I had problems, especially with coming back after games, like the sleep, get your legs back where you wanted it to, because we've played so many games. It's tough to get to relax and get your body back where you want it. So that was the biggest part. Otherwise, strength, I think I'm almost there. I just need to get the speed back and the quickness back. I think I'm gonna work on that this summer and really push the pace to be in the shape I want to be.
So you are
for
a
next season
on the ice, correct?
Not really. I'm not slow, but I'm not the fastest guy here. So
I got to tell you, one of my favorite players was number 23, who I had the opportunity, and Jimmy did, to train, Ilkka Sinisalo, the Finn, the flying Finn. And we used to do these runs up the bleachers. Remember that, Jimmy? We'd have them all running. No one. He would lap people. He would lap. He'd go past them and come back around. His thighs, his speed, he was just amazing. So I thought that 23 just carried over into the Oskar realm.
Yeah, I actually had to run here yesterday because we live up on a hill now, so we have a lot of steep hills going straight up. So I'm trying to get a run every day and a little workout in. So it's great to be here.
So I'm going to go back. I'm not going to let you skate on me here. From a scale from 1 to 10, what is your fitness level right now?
7.5.
Okay. Now, from a scale from 1 to 10, what is your fear level of returning to play this next season?
0. Absolute no fear at all.
That's beautiful.
I would say.
Yeah.
So 10 would be ultimate fitness. 0 is no fear. Now, I want everyone out there, all those who have cancer, who are joining us today in this HEALED community gathering, to realize that Oskar had Ewing sarcoma, bone cancer, with surgery, 6 months of chemo. He's back to playing professional hockey for the Philadelphia Flyers. He has no fear, none whatsoever. That, Oskar, is the greatest message that you can share today, because that sort of fear hangs over almost everyone who has been touched by cancer. Not you, not me, because I don't believe I was ever touched. My body might have been, but not me. And what we want to do is take people out of the past, what they used to be able to think they did, and the anticipation, expectation of pain in the future, or I'm not going to be able to do this, or I'm going to die. That time scares the bejesus out of people. And if we can bring them, as you've been mentioning, into the present moment. What do I have to take care of right now? And so what are you saying you have to take care of right now?
Good question. Haven't even thought about that. I just trying to live the moment and do my thing. I mean, we're here in Spain with my family. I can't be more happy right now. So my mind is just, it's nothing in there. It's having fun every day, and like we talked about last season, trying to get back in shape, and so it's no problems. It's just a happy life.
Beautiful. Now, Jimmy, what is his program, conditioning program, compared to the other Philadelphia Flyers? Is there a difference?
There's a difference. Oskar, if I can just add something for Oskar. Oskar, you went through this when COVID hit, and you did a lot of this on your own, only because the only three people who were at the skate zone were myself, Coots, Ghost, and Sammy Moran when you would come in to visit. Remember?
Yeah.
But Pat, he was, because the NHL shut us all down and only the people that were rehabbing could come in and do fitness. Oscar's going through all this on his own, and we set up a gym in your room, right?
Yeah.
That you can keep yourself. We brought a bike and dumbbells over to get yourself in shape. But Oscar's a speed player. You know, yeah, you're not the quickest, but you're certainly not the slowest, and you're up there with speed. He's going to get his speed back, and he's got to get his overall strength back up, and it's coming. We would talk to during the season that it takes a good year for that body to reset after your chemo treatments, and you're going to come back with blazing next year. You'll do fine because you, my son, have a work ethic, and it'll come back.
Jimmy and Oskar, I want to share with you a note. We get all kinds of notes, and I see people everywhere now, and they're all wearing our bracelet, Jimmy.
Yes.
Heel bracelet. We'll get you one of these, Oskar, and it's our heel bracelet. It's got one green bead. That green stands for healing, nature, harmony, renewal, and the oneness in it is we're all in this together. All of us are in this
I need
together.
one of those.
Well, you will have one. As a matter of fact, off target, I'm walking this morning. I'm on my routine walking, and a dog's out there in the middle of the street. It's going to get hit by a car, and I'm trying to get its collar to see where I can take it. And as I'm trying to corral it, it's playing with me, won't come closer. A car stops, so it wouldn't hit it. And the guy has his arm hanging out the car, and I see this. He's got the same bracelet on. His name's Frank. He's had testicular cancer last summer. He's part of he's registered. It was amazing. I'm saying, yes,
That's
I'm
awesome.
giving him high fives. So it's pretty funny. But what I want to share with you, we got this note from Mark. I won't give his last name. He said, this Wednesday is my chemo day. I listen while getting chemo, and although not a survivor yet, it lifts my spirits as a lot of times I'm down, but try not to show it. Now, first of all, he says he's not a survivor yet. You're alive. He's definitely a survivor. What would you say to Mark, Oskar?
Like you said, it's a down. Like, it's tough for everyone, but like, if you have family around you or friends, whatever, like someone to talk to, that helps you a lot as well. Even especially those days when you go in for chemo, that's the worst days you can have, because you're gonna get you down so bad. But like, if you just to have family around you to get you to think about something else, helps a lot. It did for me at least. And I mean, I don't think I have any more than that. Just like I said already, try to be positive. I can't really tell you more than that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful advice. Be positive. Have your family around you. Be active. You said your fitness level is different than theirs, but still be active. Use that body and mind. Don't let it abuse you.
No, walks, a lot of walks as soon as you can. Get going, because it's gonna get to your whole body active, and that's gonna help to get the chemo out of you as soon as possible as well.
You're listening to Oskar give you the advice of medical research from the ages. Please listen. Walking, positive mental attitude, support from loved ones. Bring it in. Be in the present moment. Jimmy and Oskar, stay right there. We have some questions. We only have 10 minutes left, but Diana, please come on with any questions.
Pat, We have a couple of questions. The first one is for Oskar. What do you do regularly to get to know fear?
That's a great question. I don't really know. I'm born like this. I'm trying not to be afraid of anything. As long as you go into it with heart and do your best, doesn't matter if you do chemo or whatever. Like, just be the guy. I'm gonna beat this. Like, you're you, and you just, especially with cancer, don't let it take you. I mean, we everyone can win, and with all the help we get nowadays, you just have to be strong in yourself. And like we talked about, your mind, you can control it by yourself, and just do it. It's nothing, you can't do anything else than that. And then if something else happens, but as soon as you go in with a strong mind, you're coming a long way.
Oskar, your strong mind is contagious to this gathering today. FEAR, F-E-A-R, is an acronym. There's an acronym. False expectations appearing real. They're not real. Your strong mind knows that they're not real, so it just goes, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that. I love that. Strong, positive thoughts. Go ahead, Diana. Any more?
Yes, we have one for Jim. What role do you think Oskar's strict physical regimen and his good health played in his ability to so quickly get back on the ice?
I believe it played a huge role. I believe it played a huge role in his recovery, his continuing recovery. But yeah, it played a huge role. I really believe that, and Oskar did a great job with it. I know he said he was tired, and he was, but he did work out quite a bit. And I'm a big believer in fitness, because you're in a battle. You're in a battle for your life, and you're going to need to get your strength. And he did a remarkable job with that. And Oskar, I know you know the young boy that I've been working with who has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And Pat, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to throw a shout out to him because I love him dearly, and he's got my full support. And it's Austin Campbell, and he's been battling it. And I believe his fitness level at the age of 13 and continue to work out all the way through, just like you, Oskar, is helping him battle through his cancer.
How far is he into his treatment plan?
About a year now. Yeah. So he's a warrior. Team.
So this is what they're doing, Oskar, with the money raised in HEAL. The first research program had 85 participants in 2019, and it demonstrated that physical activity helps the healing process in cognitive behavior and physical activity in a variety of ways. And then it was tabled. And now we're coming around, partnering with American Cancer Society, and with your help, now they have 400 clients, as I said, 400 patients, and taking it to the next level. So it should take about 14 months with an entire online program so that everyone, regardless of color, creed, sex, or status, will have the access to be able to do physical activity, learn nutritional tips, and be able to survive, no, not survive, thrive like you do. Isn't that's the
awesome.
difference?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You see so many people around you too. Like, you don't realize it before I got my diagnosed, that so many people around you, like more than you think about. Like, my mom had breast cancer before me, and like there's so many people around you that get affected from this disease. So if you can help so many people, just be yourself and spread the word. I'll do it every day. It's just one person per day. If that's enough, I do it.
You're doing it as a role model, Oskar. You're walking the talk. Your experience says way more than any words can do. And this is the scary part. Dr. Erica Rees-Punia, who is doing the research, and she was on our first HEAL gathering with Mike Schmidt, who was sharing his experience of melanoma. She said that 70% who are diagnosed with cancer don't do squat. They do nothing. They do not. They don't even do the 3 times a week, 20 minutes. They don't do enough to have active living to help revitalize all the organs and the muscles and strengthen the bones and just the mindset that you talk about. You know, when you're on the couch, that mind, that chatter in your mind is going to be your worst enemy, right? When you couldn't do anything, that's what you had to put to bed.
100%. Like when I felt bad, and now you can just go on the bike and do a bike ride for 15 minutes. It's just clear your mind as well. Like start thinking about something else than just your treatments and all that. And like you said, your whole body, you get active and you feel so much better instead of just laying in the couch the whole day and thinking tomorrow's going to be better. But if you just do something, like I said, walks, easy, everyone can do it. Go outside, get some air.
Love it. Love it. Diana, any more questions? We have time for one more.
Sure, just one. And this is a fun one for Oskar. When did you set your lifelong goal to play in the NHL, and what did you do to get there?
Well, that was early. I mean, I watched the NHL when I was young, really young. So saw a lot of Swedish player coming over and playing NHL. That's so you just want to follow them. So I don't know what age, probably like 10 or something. But then just like we talked about, be that strong mind, and you want to reach your goal, go for it the whole way. Like don't do any cuts anywhere. Do your workouts, have fun on the way, practice a lot. If you're good enough, you're gonna get there, and you just have to have the mind and the mindset to get there.
Were there naysayers along the way, Oskar?
Yes, a couple, I would say. Many people told me I wasn't a good skater enough, so I wouldn't be there. So, but I showed them wrong. So I'm here now, and I'm happy about that because he just helped me down the way.
I love it. I love it. Bobby Clark, Eric Lindros, Rod the Bod Brindamore, Rick Tocchet, all my heroes. Move over. Oskar Lindblom is taking first place. Is right up there. I'm going to put that poster right in my office. Oskar, thank you. Thank you for joining today. Jim McCrossin, the trainer for the Flyers. Thank you. I love you, Jimmy. You know that. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
for having
our community, we're going to continue this discussion on Facebook page, our Facebook page at ACS Healed. Please tell 2 people. Go out there and tell 2 people about our Healed community gathering. This is a movement that we're starting right here, right now. It's only our 5th week, and you can see the impact that we can have. It's just a ripple, but that ripple can turn into a wave, into a tsunami of health and energy through active living every day. And I like to end with a little prayer. It's a prayer in the present moment. It's not a petitionary prayer. We're not going to ask for anything. We're going to say thank you. Thank you for the grace in helping me welcome what is happening right now. As Oskar said, it's right now we have to be concerned about. If we can take care right now, the future will take care of itself. Thank you for joining today. Peace.